Sing praises, all you peoples. Sing praises to the Lord. Sing praises, all you peoples. Sing praises to the Lord. Sing praises, all you peoples. Sing praises to the Lord. Sing praises, all you peoples. Sing praises to the Lord. Sing praises, all you peoples. Sing praises to the Lord. Sing praises, all you peoples. Sing praises to the Lord.
A reading from the Gospel according to Matthew. Immediately, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead to the other side while he dismissed the crowds. And after he had dismissed the crowds, he went up the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone, but by this time the boat, battered by the waves, was far from the land, for the wind was against them. And early in the morning, he came walking toward them on the sea. But when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified, saying, "It is a ghost," and they cried out in fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them and said, "Take heart, it is I, do not be afraid." Peter answered him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." He said, "Come." So Peter got out of the boat, started walking on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he noticed the strong wind, he became frightened, and beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me." Jesus immediately reached out his hand and caught him, saying to him, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" When they got into the boat, the wind ceased, and those in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." Here ends the reading.
Sing praises, all you peoples. Sing praises to the Lord. Sing praises, all you peoples. Sing praises to the Lord.
Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be with you. You know, sometimes I get afraid, we get afraid or tired. The drama and the crisis in our world is just so much, too much. We heard tonight of Jesus's off-the-chart family feud, and the disciples in a raging storm, in the pitch black in a tiny boat. I work in a jail, and most people who come to jail are in crisis. Their lives turned upside down, ravaged by the storms of poverty, violence, and addiction, stuck in a system that really does not bear much resemblance to justice. We all have our storms. A diagnosis, a secret shame, an unfulfilled dream, or weariness from the storms of this world, COVID-19, systemic oppression and racism, the climate crisis. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay. But where is God in it all? The disciples are fighting exhaustion and fighting for their lives. And then, as if to top it all off, some ghostly presence seems to be moving towards them through the storm, and they just lose it. I imagine one of them starts screaming, one hides under a blanket, and Peter, who likes to do stuff, starts running around looking for something to attack the phantom with. When suddenly, through all the noise and chaos, a voice that they recognize speaks calmly and directly to them. "Take heart, it is I, don't be afraid." I imagine them transfixed. Jesus has come to be with them, seemingly walking across the water. And the storm is still raging, but now Jesus is with them in it. Don't be afraid. Not because this situation isn't terrifying, because it is, but don't be afraid because I'm with you. Well, apparently Peter wants to test this and issues a challenge. If it's you, Jesus, if it's really you, then tell me to come to you and I'll walk on the water just like you. Imagine a faint smile from Jesus, his eyes softening. Okay, come on then. And for a few incredible moments, Peter is walking on water amidst the storm towards Jesus. Look at me, look at me. Look at me walking through a storm. The storm. Help, I'm sinking. And immediately Jesus pulls him to safety. And as they land in the boat, the storm ceases and Jesus asks Peter, "Why did you doubt me?" Now it's curious because I have read this story hundreds of times. And I've always assumed the moment of doubt that Jesus is talking about came when Peter looked at the wind and the waves, that somehow being afraid of the storm, which actually was very real and very dangerous, was the problem. That really our job as Christians is not to be afraid of scary things. But I wonder where the moment of doubt actually happened. Maybe when Jesus says, "Don't be afraid," and Peter replies, "Well, if it's you, then prove it to me." Is maybe this the moment of doubt? The moment of, "Jesus, it's not enough for you to be with me. You need to prove to me that it's going to be okay and that I am a storm rider just like you. It's not enough for me to know that you're here. I need something spectacular to make it all go away, make me unafraid, make me immune to this pain." The storms will always rage on. Is the presence of God going to be enough for us? Can we trust that God's presence will be what makes the difference? Not insist that the storm goes away or that we gain some superhuman ability to surmount it. This is where I believe that the people who are incarcerated that I work with have a lot to teach us. They show us how to sit with ourselves and recognize that though we cannot always escape the jail cell, the storm that we're in, we can discover that Jesus has entered and is right beside us in it. So I want to end with some words from the people I work with in jail. These were written by participants in a writing group we facilitate in the jail. And for me, one of the life-changing things about working with people who the world would throw away, who are on the margins, is that I am transformed repeatedly by their faith, their courage, their resilience in all the storms they face. They face the fear and ask God to meet them in it. And they find truly that though the storms rage on relentlessly, the still, deep presence of God is there too. And therefore they can take heart. So this is a poem by Jessica, a young woman. She was about 23, whose mother passed away while she was in jail. She comes from a painful background. The storms raged throughout her childhood. And she wrote a poem in our workshop that described those storms that she has come from, but also finding God present with her where she's heading to. This is Jessica's poem. I am from the dope stash hidden in my mum's extra shoes. I am from the empty fridge, the dope cooking on the stove. I am from drug-induced chaos going from house to house. I am from the pot plants in my stepdad's closet, the pungent smell that always made me sick. I am from abuse and neglect, everyone for themselves, only coming together when the sack's empty. I am from hiding it from the neighbors makes it okay. I am from half-cooked spaghetti and crunchy mac and cheese. I am from asking Daddy why Mama's not moving. I am from wondering if my teacher will see that bruise. But that is not the end of my story. I am too my engagement, knowing that I am okay. I am too looking past the dope pipe. I am too telling my sisters they don't have to be scared anymore. I am too putting everything off my back into God's hands and stepping back. I am too having a happy home, everyone coming together soberly. I am too believing that you don't need drugs to be happy and okay. I am too being a strong, powerful woman that I show the world. And finally, this is a blessing written by a man called David. He wrote it for me to use as I speak about the jail. He's currently serving 26 years in state prison. Hold on. Hold on to yourself even when that's hard. Hold on, God is with you, even if you can't see. Hold on, help is out there, even if you don't believe. Hold on, love is out there, even when it hurts so much. Amen.